Welcome to the CMO Spotlight, and I'm here with Julie Bowerman, who's the Chief Marketing Officer of the Kellogg Company.
Take a little more risk, know that your career is long, that you have an opportunity to be a little more courageous, and again, roll some dice and do some things that might seem more where your interests lie or to get a great experience. And, there's still plenty of time ahead to, kind of climb the ladder. I think I have two superpowers. One is I connect with people really well. I think I have a kind of a style that, allows me to connect with a lot of people and feel approachable by other people and build good relationships as a result of it. I think my other superpower is, because I get asked a lot about this from women, is I don't want to use these words having it all, but I get asked a lot of like, how kind of do you do it? And I feel like I have done a great job at kind of living out all of the things I love to do, and making sure my life was kind of was full of, a balance of those things. And at times balance tipped a little bit more, but I feel like I do a really good job of kind of managing all of that at one time and being a great mom and being a great professional. I don't have a big ego, even though I have a sense of achievement. I don't have a big ego in terms of, feeling like I have to be the one that gets the credit for things. And so I really, really value that in people that I work with, that they're really focused on just doing great work, accountable to their job. You're a problem solver. You figure things out, and problems don't stop you. You figure out how to work through them. And so that concept of kind of scrappiness, I think, is really important to me. And then, the other thing that I think defines my leadership from a value standpoint is transparency. I can be pretty direct in communication at times, so I don't have problem with conflict, but I think it's really important even and there's conversations I have many times with people I work with or work for me. They're hard conversations to tell people, you're not performing, or here's a development area. But I think that, as a leader, that is what I am accountable to do, both for them individually and kind of why the company is paying me to get the performance, out of the people, our workforce. And so, for me, like, I really kind of value I think those types of skills. I've had to really practice those empathetic skills to try and understand others' points of views in a way that might not be my point of view, or might be surprising to me that would be their point of view. That's a leadership value that I've developed. It's not kind of innate in me and natural, but I've built it over time. And I think that's also really important. First e-commerce job at Coke, where I had to build the business. E-commerce wasn't a thing. Amazon was knocking on our door and saying, hey, we're getting ready to do grocery. Would you, put your brands online or on our platform? And so the company decided, okay, well, we need a leader around it and a small team and have them figure it out. And I think one of the things that I learned in that job, and I was coming in as a marketer, most of my experience has been in marketing, but I had to work really hard. I had to build the financial model, the supply chain capabilities. I had to work with our bottlers on our distribution agreements. And it just was eye-opening for me. And I kind of said this earlier on how important those things are to actually getting things done. And as a marketer, you can sometimes live in your kind of creative space and great ideas and ideas that are kind of catchy. But if you're not thinking through kind of that full implementation, then it kind of won't happen the way that you envision it.
Yeah.
And so understanding all of those pieces and parts of, that are not necessarily part of kind of the marketing wheel, but kind of that become really important in kind of, in driving in performance of what you're trying to do from a marketing standpoint were critical. And so, I learned that more and ended up spending a lot of time in that part of standing up the business just because it became so, so important. one of my dear friends, Joanne, just wrote a book and released her book, Living on a Smile. I actually wrote the foreword in the book. And so I got to read it probably 6 months ago. And it's so Joanne and so inspiring, and just so many great quotes and lessons in that book. And so, I got to give props to my bestie, Joanne.